So quite a bit has happened in motorsports this week. Modifieds are back in business. ARCA West returns to Tucson. We had some silly season stuff in F1 and some lawsuit stuff in NASCAR. And F1 heads to the land of the rising sun. So let's take a look at how motorsports fared this week. So let's start this off with the Modifieds race at Thompson Speedway. A race that was supposed to happen last weekend and get its own solo recap, but got postponed due to rain. But now we're going to open it up by talking about the modified... God damn it! Again? You gotta be shitting me. That's 2 weeks in a row. Bruh. Never mind. No modifieds race. Race got postponed a second time for the second week in a row due to rain. And now it's been moved to a midweek race on April 16th, a day after my 27th birthday. So now the modifieds race will be back to having its own recap video in the midweek. God damn, Mother Nature really being a pain in the ass now. And I know everyone looking at that and they're saying, well, at least it's not the Cup Series. And let's be honest, the moment everybody says it's not the Cup Series, then the Cup Series will get plagued by rain. I mean, so far, the only Cup race this year to get plagued by rain was the 500. Every other race, it's been pretty good weather so far. So NASCAR's had a pretty good track record of good weather so far this year. But before we continue on, though, we do have some stuff to talk about in terms of some drama that happened throughout the week. Of course, we already know about the lawsuits now becoming a very popular thing in NASCAR. Of course, we know about the 2311 NASCAR lawsuit over the charter agreement. And then there was that new one that was introduced earlier this week between Legacy Motor Club and Rick Ware Racing over a charter agreement that gone wrong. Holy shit, Gemini is suing Rick Ware Racing. That's the most Rick Ware thing to happen. Getting sued over a charter agreement that went gone wrong. Oof. Like, honestly, that Legacy Motor Club Rick Ware Racing lawsuit, that's just the equivalent of two cripple kids fighting. A.K.A. Cripple Fight! But of course, that's not the big drama to talk about. The big drama involves NASCAR versus NFL. Jesus Christ, the NFL draft is only a couple weeks away and we got some drama here. As Lamar Jackson, NFL QB for the Baltimore Ravens, is suing Dale Earnhardt Jr. over the 8 font. And not just any 8 font. It's the Junior Motorsports 8 font. Honestly, thank fucking God it isn't the DEI 8 font, because we already dealt with that enough of that shit with that bitch Teresa. But, man, just absolutely crazy. Like, now we have that there. Because the Junior Motorsports 8 font is a lot similar to the 8 font Lamar uses for his brand. And Lamar tries to recognize himself more as the 8 than Dale Jr. It's like, bitch, you were in fucking high school back when Dale Jr. was popular in the 8. Hell, more NASCAR fans recognize Dale Jr. in the 8 than they ever did in the 88 with HMS. Like, get the hell out of here with that. But of course, this lawsuit was quickly settled, as Dale Jr. said that they would give Lamar the trademark rights to the Junior Motorsports 8. Mainly because they have no more use for it ever since Dale Jr. got the copyrights paperwork for the DEI 8 font, after he wrestled that away from Teresa Earnhardt. Honestly, the more saddest part about the whole thing was that Dale Jr. didn't get the trademarks for the 1 font from DEI. So that we could tell Teresa Earnhardt to kindly fuck off. And if anyone's wondering, no, Teresa doesn't have the trademark copyrights for the 15 font. Michael Waltrip got that stuff a long time ago. And Teresa doesn't have it for the 3 either, because the three trademarks were never DEI to begin with. They were RCR. So the 3 trademarks belong to Richard Childress. So if Richard Childress ever wanted to, I don't know, run a Dale Sr. Black GM Goodwrench throwback scheme for Austin Dillon in the future, they could damn well do it, and Teresa can't do a goddamn thing about it. But in terms of the whole Lamar Jackson Dale Jr. lawsuit, it was quickly settled within 24 hours. Like, honestly, that was the quickest lawsuit ever. Like, honestly, the whole thing just shows how much of a dumbass Lamar Jackson is. Like, seriously, Lamar, brother, if you wanted the font and the trademarks for that Junior Motorsports 8 font so bad, all you had to do was ask. You didn't even need to file a lawsuit. You could have just asked Dale Jr. and Junior Motorsports for it, and they would have just gave it to you. Because they have no more use for it, because Dale Jr.'s got the DEI 8 font. I mean, plus a lot of people recognize Dale Jr. with that font more than they recognize Dale Jr. with the Junior Motorsports 8 font. Just for nostalgia alone. Plus, also, isn't it a weird coincidence that the moment Dale Jr. got the DEI trademarks for the DEI 8 font, Dale Jr. immediately rocketed back to the top of merch sales when he slapped that shit on a couple die-casts and some t-shirts and merch and some other shit? God, what a coincidence, huh? Funny what happens when you tell Teresa Earnhardt to fuck off and tell that bitch to go away. But yeah, honestly, Lamar just shows how much of a dumbass he is. Like, he didn't need to file the lawsuit. He could have just asked Dale Jr. for it and he would have just gave it to him. But yeah, that was completely pointless. Alright, let's shift away from all that drama and get back to racing now. So yeah, now we go back to the ARCA West race as they're back in action and the return of Tucson Speedway up in Tucson, Arizona. The first time they've been there since 2019. And well, this race was mainly a three-way battle for the win for the most part between... Well, early parts of the race, it was a battle between Jake Bowman and Eric Johnson Jr. as they duked it out until Tanner Reif came out of nowhere in the closing laps. And in a thrilling three-wide battle for the win on the final laps, Tanner Reif would edge out both Bowman and Eric Johnson to get the win in Tucson. So maybe Trevor Huddleston won't have that easy path to the championship after all, as Tanner Reif is looking to enter that chat too. You also got Eric Johnson also in that battle as well. Like, this ARCA West title could go wide open this year. Unless Trevor Huddleston gets a couple wins or Tanner Reif gets a couple wins and they both run away with it. Like, personally, I think it's going to be a two-way battle between Huddleston and Tanner Reif, with maybe someone like Eric Johnson or Kyle Keller having an outside shot at it. But it was an alright race. I mean, it was good to see some more schedule diversity on ARCA West and going back to a track that hasn't been on schedule in like 5-6 years. So that's good there. Honestly, a very solid race. But I mean, it's ARCA West, though. What else do you expect from it? But yeah, maybe the ARCA West Championship could have a good battle this year. But before we continue on any further, we do have some F1 silly season to talk about, as F1 silly season has started already early this season. Mainly at Red Bull Racing. Because, yeah, it's no secret that Liam Lawson has struggled mightily at Red Bull. Like, to say he's been garbage at Red Bull is a fucking understatement. He can't even make it out of the first round of qualifying. That's how bad he's been. And when Red Bull is really contemplating how bad you are after 2 races, that's when you know Red Bull fucked up and put the wrong driver in that car. So after 2 races, the Red Bull decided they aren't going to wait till mid-season to make a driver change. And that they were just going to get it over with right now or early in the year while they're ahead. So of course, we have a driver, we have an F1 trade between the Red Bull and the Racing Bulls. As Red Bull is sending Liam Lawson to the Racing Bulls in exchange for Yuki Tsunoda right before Yuki's home race in Japan. So now Yuki Tsunoda gets his shot at Red Bull. I mean, it was bound to happen at some point that Yuki was going to end up at Red Bull. But damn, I did not think it would be under these circumstances. Like, honestly, with the way Liam has been, like, honestly, it was probably the right. He probably should have put Yuki in that car to start the season. Like, honestly, I think putting Liam in that car was a massive mistake. Like, honestly, this just justifies everybody that said that Yuki should have been in that car since the end of the year when Sergio Perez got fired. But could Yuki Tsunoda finally become the second driver that Red Bull's been searching for a while? Well, they did have good stability with Sergio Perez until last year when he fell apart. But maybe Yuki Tsunoda can actually be up there and compete with Verstappen now. And what a lead way right into the F1 race in Japan. And in terms of Yuki's first race with Red Bull, well, he qualified the car 14th. Well, it's not good, but it's an improvement over what Liam Lawson was doing in that car, considering that Yuki actually got that car out of the first round of qualifying. But at the same time, though, it's not good either because Yuki was doing so much better in a Racing Bull car. He took the fucking junior car, the Racing Bull car, and was getting to fucking Q3 in qualifying. But hey, not the worst case scenario. What the fuck's Verstappen gonna do with the other Red Bull car? Set a new track record at Suzuka, and he did. Well, shit. But hey, it's not about how you start. It's about how you finish. So maybe Yuki can have a solid race in Japan and have a solid run. And in terms of the race itself, well, nothing happened in this race. It was complete boring for 90 minutes. There wasn't really any on-track incidents. The only on-track incident that happened was on pit road during the green flag pit cycle when Lando Norris put himself in the grass and then tried to blame Verstappen for it, saying Verstappen forced him off. No, Lando, Verstappen never forced you off the track. You ran yourself into the grass like a dumbass. Verstappen held his damn line. You put yourself in the grass because you tried to be too greedy on pit exit. And kids, that's it. Kids, let Lando's mistake be a lesson why you don't get greedy. Every time you get greedy, it always bites you in the ass without fail every time. But overall for this race, it was the Max Verstappen show from start to finish, dominated the entire race. The only time Verstappen didn't lead was the green flag pit cycle, which in turn led to Kimi Antonelli leading his first laps in F1, becoming the youngest driver to lead a lap in Formula 1. So hey, congrats to Kimi on making history. That doesn't really count, though, since it was a green flag pit cycle. But yeah, but then Verstappen, he would cycle back out to the lead. And yeah, Verstappen wasn't really that much challenged throughout this race. The only cars that had any speed for Verstappen in this race were the two McLarens of Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. And despite both their efforts to try and catch Verstappen in the closing laps, neither of them could make a move on Verstappen, as Verstappen would hold off both their late charges to get the win. The one question I have in the closing laps is, why the fuck did McLaren not have not give Oscar Piastri a shot? Because Oscar was running faster times than Lando at the end. At that point late in the race, Lando isn't getting it done. Maybe see if Oscar can go get it done against Verstappen. But I guess McLaren wants to protect Lando's odds of the championship because, hey, it's a season-long points format. Every point matters, I guess. I guess. But yeah, Verstappen gets his first win of the season, his 64th career win, and it's his 4th straight win in Japan. So yeah, Verstappen's becoming quite the master in Suzuka. And of course, if anyone's wondering, Yuki Tsunoda would end up finishing 12th in his first race with Red Bull. Oof. That's not a good debut for Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda, if Yuki Tsunoda continues to struggle like that by the end of the year, he might get the same fate as Liam Lawson. But hey, it's only one race. Let's see how he does later on throughout the year. If he shows improvement throughout the year, then maybe there's hope for him in that second Red Bull car. Either that or Red Bull's going to wonder why the fuck can they not develop a second driver worth of shit to compete with Verstappen. Even when they did have those 3 years of stability with Sergio Perez, he still was nowhere on Verstappen's level. Especially when during that time Verstappen was winning damn near 20 races a season. But yeah, Red Bull gets their first win of the season with Verstappen. So with Verstappen winning, it means now we have a championship battle between Lando and Max. And also, how the fuck did F1 get James Hinchcliffe to do the post-race interviews? Like, I know IndyCar's on an off week being held Long Beach next week, but I thought there were some contract restrictions with James Hinchcliffe being a broadcaster for Fox. But I guess not. But I guess there are no restrictions. Damn. Interesting. Plus, James Hinchcliffe isn't really an F1 guy. He's more of an IndyCar guy. But I guess, hey, IndyCar's still open wheels, so I guess it counts. But hey, it was cool to see James Hinchcliffe. Like, honestly, they should have just saved Hinchcliffe for the Canadian Grand Prix. Actually, wait, maybe not, because I believe IndyCar has a race that weekend in Road America, so maybe not. Which probably means for the Montreal post-race interviews, they're probably going to get Danica Patrick again. Fuck me. But yeah, it was, honestly, it was this race in Mexico was a dud. I mean, hey, it's gonna happen. Like, not every race in Japan's gonna be an absolute banger. Like, you're gonna have some duds every now and then. And this race was a massive dud. Just, yeah, pretty boring. And we're gonna have to see how the ratings do. I mean, the ratings did pretty well in China when we had over 800,000 people tune in for a race starting at 3 in the morning in the U.S. on the East Coast. I don't know, maybe they'll probably get similar numbers to that for a race starting at 1 in the morning. And yes, I actually stayed up for it too. But yeah, of course, this week starts a triple header for F1. But this is the last time we have to deal with early start times for the foreseeable future. As, of course, next week they start going to the Middle East. So yeah, next week I'll see you all for F1 in Bahrain and IndyCar in Long Beach.